Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we are jumping right into a huge question that pretty much every creative pro and power user has to ask themselves. Do you go for a beast of a machine that has all the power locally? Or do you opt for a lightweight setup that taps into the cloud?
So let's get right into it, because I'm sure you felt this pain. You need some serious horsepower for things like video editing, 3D rendering, or heavy-duty coding, but that usually means you're stuck lugging around this absolute brick of a laptop. It really does feel like a constant battle between having the freedom to move and having the raw power you need.
But here's the thing, what if you don't actually have to choose? The right answer for you really just boils down to your specific workflow, what your budget looks like, and just how much you value being able to pack up and go. So today, we're going to break down two really different approaches to solve this problem so you can figure out what's the perfect fit for you.
All right, first up, let's talk about option one, the powerhouse. I mean, think of this as the classic all-in-one beast of a machine. All the computing power you could ever want packed right into a single self-contained laptop. So, what's the big win here? Well, it's total independence. You can run the most demanding apps absolutely anywhere, even if you're completely offline. We're talking zero network lag, no latency issues, you have complete control over your hardware, your data, it's all right there with you. It's a one-time cost, and you're good to go.
But, and it's a big but, all that power has its downsides. For starters, these things are heavy. Portability is not great. The battery life? Yeah, it drains like crazy when you're pushing it. And they can get super hot and sound like a jet engine taking off. Plus, that initial price is going to make your wallet cry. And here's a scary thought. If that super expensive device gets lost or stolen, all your work, your data, it's a huge security risk.
Okay, so let's shift gears and look at option two, the flexible duo. This is a totally different philosophy. We're talking about a super lightweight, everyday laptop paired with a monster server up in the cloud.
And this setup is just incredibly flexible. I mean, you get amazing portability with a machine that's light and thin, but then, and this is the cool part, when you need that raw power, you can access this immense scalable server on demand. The upfront cost for the laptop itself is way lower, and your data is actually more secure because it's stored on the server, not your device. And you're just paying for that server power as you go.
Okay, but you knew there was a catch, right? The Achilles heel of this whole setup is that you are completely 100% dependent on a good internet connection. No internet, no power. Simple as that. You can also get frustrating delays from network latency, which can be a total nightmare. And those pay-as-you-go server costs, they can really add up over time if you're not careful. Plus, you might need a bit of technical know-how to manage the service side of things.
Okay, so now that we know the players, let's throw them in the ring. It's time for the head-to-head comparison. This is where we really see the powerhouse and the duo go toe-to-toe. And right away, you can see the crystal clear trade-offs, right? With the powerhouse, you're paying for full offline capability, but you're giving up portability. With the flexible duo, you get amazing portability and better security, but you're basically shackled to your internet connection for any heavy lifting. And when we look at the money, it's a whole different story. The powerhouse is one big, high upfront cost. You buy it, you own it. The Duo, on the other hand, has a much lower entry price for the laptop, but then you've got this potential recurring server costs. It's kind of like buying a house versus renting. One is a huge initial investment, the other is smaller payments that continue over time.
So, with all that on the table, how in the world do you choose? Well, it really just comes down to your actual day-to-day workflow. So let's try to find your perfect match. Okay, take a look at this and see where you fit. Are you a digital nomad who only needs to crank up the power every once in a while? The flexible duo is probably for you. But what if you're a 3D artist who's mostly at a desk, or you travel all the time but the Wi-Fi is, let's just say, unreliable? Then the powerhouse is going to be your best friend. It's really all about being honest about how and where you actually work.
And that's really the key takeaway here. This isn't about which option has the best specs on paper. There is no single best choice. It's about which one is the best fit for your life and your work.
And that kind of leaves us with this one big final question to think about. In the future, are our laptops just going to become simple windows to the cloud? Are we moving towards a world where all the real heavy lifting happens somewhere else and our devices are just terminals? It's a future that might be a lot closer than we think. Thanks for joining us on The Explainer.